Hello everyone and welcome back to AustinPlus Commentary Word Today, or AustinPlus Reviews, where today we are covering the most recent Now You See Me installment, being Now You See Me and Now You Don't. It was a phenomenal film and I'm so glad I got to see this on premiere day, and I was so this movie was just so good. I watched rewatched the other movies beforehand, and then obviously seeing it in a new format, it's just brilliant. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So like usual, we cover the critical criteria, the best characters, best moments, what's in plans for this franchise, and overall the understanding of and how good this movie really was. So to start off with, I have five characters that I think were probably the best in this movie. First off being Thaddeus Bradley. So Thaddeus is one of the film's best characters by using his past to become the wise one, mentor-like figure to the rest of the team. It really expanded the team dynamic because he had something for everyone. He really brought something to the table. And his death in the end, I think, was a necessity because it shows that, like, I'm gone, but you can carry on with all of the magic. And especially for these characters and the role that he played previously in the other movies, definitely felt like he was going to perish in some way. And I know perish is probably not the right word, but it's the unfortunate truth. His transition into like a master level strategist solidifies his like essential position in the franchise, that he'll never be forgotten. He was Daniel Rhodes' enemy until Daniel Rhodes fully understand it. We all make mistakes, and all in all, everyone was brought together by the eye or magic. And everyone has something to bring to the table. Whether that's a round table, we do not know. So the second character I would say was really good was Henley Reeves. Now, Henley Reeves was absent in the second movie, but Henley Reeves stands out as one of the best characters in this movie because of her highly anticipated return from the second one. So we saw her teased with this new trailer and everything. But I thought when I was going to watch the second movie again, I thought it was like a recast. It wasn't, because also Lola does make an appearance in this movie as a fifth horseman, or like eighth. There's like so many now. But she reintroduces herself with the essential chemistry and the dynamic of the group, the little unpredictable one, and I like that. And it was missing, and I think that sort of like personality was missing in the second movie. No offense to Lola, I think her character was quite funny, but it doesn't have the same vibe that Henley Reeves does. I think Henley comes in between the comedy and like unpredictable. I would say comedy is definitely merit, that's for sure, but I don't know where she lies on that whole spectrum of like character types in a group. She's just, I don't know where. Her expertise in death-defying escapology provides some of the film's most thrilling suspenseful sequences, like being stuck in that sandbox, which was a major point because I was genuinely curious to see how they got out of that one. I mean, there's cool magic tricks, sure, but there was literally like nothing in that box. Her presence is a welcome breath of fresh air, that's for sure, providing a necessary balance of heart, skill, and sharp wit. That's it, sharp wit. That's what I'm looking for. On to numero trois. Daniel J. Atlas. He is arrogant, but he's also, I think, he's got one of the best lines ever. Don't tell me that you're the smartest man in the room. Prove it. I think that's one of the best lines ever. Atlas remains at a cornerstone of the franchise, obviously anchoring the whole movie and film franchise for that matter, with his cocky arrogance but skill as a street illusionist. As the leader of the Horsemen, or right-hand man, his competitive drive and pursuit of the next grand trick propels the whole plot forward, especially in his magic offs with like the new generation of magicians in that like room, that illusion room. I'll get onto that in a little bit, but that was quite funny, seeing them go to head. But his journey in this installment expertly balances his ego with genuine vulnerability, especially when Thaddeus dies. I think that brings a character trait out of him that we've never seen, and it makes his character arc one of the most compelling to watch. Yes, he is probably one of the most annoying, but I love his character type, and I don't know why. I think it's because he reminds me of Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, but also I just love Jesse Eisenberg as an actor. Or I've just watched too much Now You See Me. Honestly, there's so many reasons why. Now, Woody Harrelson, oh my god, one of the greatest actors of all time. Merritt McKinney distinguishes himself as one of the best characters in this movie as well, because he provides the sharp observational humor that I often involve with in my life, and the comedy relief which everyone needs, and that cuts the tension that we all need at times. Especially, it's always Merritt as well. I know I said like Henry Reeves is quite an unpredictable yet funny character, but this man is on a whole new level. His skills as a mentalist and a hypnotist allow him to manipulate basically any situation in this magic world, and he often serves as the secret weapon for the team of the group, showing how he can mentalize someone and then they just do whatever, really. Woody Harrelson's delivery ensures that Merritt remains the fan favorite. I think Merritt is probably the fan favorite in the whole aspect of the fan base for this franchise. I think probably J. Daniel Atlas is probably one of the least, but I think Merritt McKinney is still on top in all this. Now, the last person is actually a new addition to the franchise and a new addition to the whole story, hopefully that we see more in the future, but Charlie Vanderberg. Now, I liked his character to start with, but I didn't realize how tied into the plot he was, and I love how it makes so much sense at the end. And the best thing about him is he was the final reveal. And in that final reveal, he was revealed in such a villainous way, and I thought he was actually like the big bad and all that. But it was the same way that Daniel Rhodes revealed himself at the end of the first movie. So that callback, I think, was amazing. And it brought his character full circle, and the new generation of magicians full circle as well, showing that old and new can come together. But I think another thing we need to reflect in this is because this is still very different from Daniel Rhodes' approach. So Daniel Rhodes was the person that put Thaddeus in prison, but Thaddeus wasn't actually a bad guy. Vanderberg was. So all in all, Charlie did better than Daniel Rhodes. I still prefer Daniel Rhodes as any other character, I'm gonna be real. Now, there are 4 scenes in this movie that I think were perfect. One of them I have just mentioned, if you can probably guess. But one of them was very near and dear to my heart. One of them was so good. So good. And the other one was confusing to a muggle like me. But let's break them down. So the F1 car race in Abu Dhabi, very fitting as F1 is currently taking place in Abu Dhabi right now. But to me, the best scene was when Bosco and Charlie was stolen an F1 car during a high-stakes meeting at the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi to simply create a distraction. Now, I'm not an illusionist or a magician or a thief for that matter, but I think you can do something a tiny bit less inconspicuous and still cause a distraction without taking an F1 car, especially at this time of year. How dare you? But also it led to a police chase that I found so interesting, and it was so thrilling, and it was so symbolic of the franchise's over-the-top fun. Now, a lot of people compared this, not this scene, but this whole movie to the Fast and Furious franchise. First of all, that's insulting, because I love these movies, and Fast and Furious don't have magic, and if they have magic, I don't care. This is better. The exploding diamond scene was the first official return of J. Daniel Atlas and his perfect snarky verbalness. Yeah, this very early scene where Atlas engages in a verbal practical magic showdown with Veronica over a diamond was a standout for me, that's for sure. And it showcases the character's snark as always, and the film's return to a slight hand of trickery. And then they revealed how it did it, and I was just like, that's inconspicuous magic thing. Veronica is just blind. The illusory safe house scene was also very good, where they were in that safe house with so many illusions, like the mirror room, the rotating tunnel. But after being raided by the police, they use a house filled with optical illusions to disorient and evade the authorities. Honestly, I don't see how you could do any better than that. I don't know if anyone's seen, there's behind the scenes footage of this scene, and the practical effects of this was heavy, and it featured so much fun and character moments that and I like the one-offs with each of the characters. So it's the old and then the new, they have tiny conversations. I think that's quite cool. And then the grand reveal, as I said earlier, I couldn't actually find a picture of this online, so you're just gonna get a picture of Charlie. But this final confrontation in Veronica's vault and the subsequent major twist of the whole movie reveals Charlie's role as Veronica's long-lost half-brother. Now that took me a while to get around, and the mastermind behind the whole plot of the film. And it was a major talking point, like even now. And I appreciate the attempt to tie it back to the story, like together at least. So people are asking, what are the chances of another sequel? Well, folks, you'll be in luck. A fourth installment of the franchise has officially been confirmed to be in development. The film is currently in early writing stages, with the director set to return. The plot is expected to involve 8 Horsemen members, great, on another globe-trotting magical adventure continuing the story from the third film. While an official release date has not been announced, a 2027 or 2028 can be considered more realistic, ensuring quality over speed, which is what we really want, especially with this franchise. Most of the core cast members, like Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, Isla Fisher, Mark Ruffalo, and then obviously the new characters are all expected to return, and the director has indicated that Mark Ruffalo's character Dylan Rhodes will have a larger role in the upcoming movie, depending on the actor's availability. That's why he only made a brief cameo in this movie. The producers are aiming for a film to be the franchise's most ambitious chapter yet, expanding the mythology of the High Society. And honestly, that's kind of what I want to hear. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's what I like to hear. So if we're comparing this to both movies, the first movie was very emphasized on how clever and the practical these characters are, and they leave you wondering how did they do that. With me every single trick. It was the central aspect of their charm as a collective, and the key twist at the end was that Mark Ruffalo's character was involved, shockingly, which really added to the story. The second movie was more focused on the new character, roughing up the team dynamic since Henley left, and it lost some of its appeal from the first one. It was the least received out of all of them, but it was still a good movie nonetheless. It also focused more on the high-tech aspect stuff rather than the magic and the double crosses, and the plot twists and exposition still share the same essence as the first. But the third movie was just amazing, and it was a collective of all of them. It was more practical Jeopardy while heavily introducing a younger generation of magicians and still referencing the times, like mention of ChatGPT and AI, and it was just a masterpiece overall. And just like all the others, the end was not what we thought. So, my overall review: an entertaining, fast-paced movie that benefits greatly to the charismatic ensemble of the cast. Absolutely phenomenal. It's speechless, some may say. It successfully brings back the original cast dynamic, including Isla Fisher's return, and introduces new energetic characters. The film delivers a visual spectacle, one of the best I would say is the F1 car chase in Abu Dhabi, and maintains a very fun and rock and roll super band energy. I would say that like the cast do that as well, like outside of acting. And the new villain I do think has a compelling presence, as adding to the tension and style rather than being another double cross. But yeah, Now You See Me, Now You Don't balances nostalgia of all of the old cast and the high-octane spectacle of a modern blockbuster. It's arguably more fun than its predecessor, delivering pure escapism. But maybe that's just the real magic that the producers are playing on us. But without further ado, everyone, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe and comment what else you would like to see on this channel. But without further ado, hope you have an amazing day as always, and I'll see you all in the next one, folks. Bye!
Yeah!